Yeah, I know. And it's been really interesting.
But we still don't know what that
It's
is.
been spelled. The first time it was do, D-O-B-B-E, and then became doobie, like something you smoke, and then it became something like Scooby-Dooby-Doo. So this doobie-doo is really exciting. Please welcome Rev Sean Imler.
This could go in so many directions. The possibilities are limitless. So I was going to open with some Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to sit for Angelico while riding in a gondola in the Italian Riviera. We're not going to talk about death today. Just wanted to be clear about that. What I wanted to talk about actually is this juxtaposition between doing and being. It's something that's been a theme coming up in my meditations and journeys this year. I am a doer. I love doing. I rarely just sit around and gab. I rarely sit around and talk much. I'm always in the process of either doing or planning what I'm going to do next. And it's monotonous, actually. And so the message came up this year, well, okay, so what are you being? And I was like, what do you mean, what am I being? What is that supposed to mean? What am I being? And as I sat with that, I realized that doing is great, okay? It is what accomplishes the goals that we set for ourselves. But the being is the center from which all of that comes from. When you set an intention for something, if your vibration doesn't match that intention, you can't really achieve the intention. So what I want to talk about today is recognizing how much we're being. We all realize that there's things to do. We're a very left-brain society. There's always these goals and aspirations, and if you talk to any life coach or any person that's trying to pump you up, they're going to tell you to set your goals, vision where you're supposed to be. Those are doing processes, but if your vibration doesn't match where you need to get to, you're not going to get there. And if you do, you won't even recognize what you were trying to achieve when you got it. So what I want to do today is lead us through a couple of exercises to get us in touch with the state of being that energizes the doingness. I also wanted to give this quote because I came across this by Wayne Dyer. It says, I am a human being, not a human doing. Don't equate your self-worth with how well you do things in life. You aren't what you do. If you are what you do, then when you don't, you aren't.
That's called retirement.
So, I also wanted to clarify what I'm not going to talk about today. There's a lot of people that are on the bandwagon now about social media and electronic devices, and I don't know if you know about text neck. Everybody. I swear to you. So I saw this young gentleman. He must have been 16, 17 years old, walking across a crosswalk, like he was doing some sort of exercise. He was walking briskly, but he looked like this. And he was walking just normally. This is not normal. Your neck should not be extended out like that. But this is what chiropractors are calling text neck now, because we have this generation that are coming up where their necks are so extended because they've been staring into the computer screen or staring at their cell phone. But we're not going to talk about that.
Glad you brought it up.
But what I did want to talk about is how infectious we are with the things that we do, with the things that we be, right? So we create an energy. It's one of those situations, like, let's say you're standing in a line at the supermarket, and most people don't really want to be shopping. I mean, there's probably a very small percentage that loves going to the market, and they love filling their basket with stuff and sitting in line and buying it all, right? It probably feels really good because they have the money to do it, and they know they're going to bring maybe, hopefully, some nutritious things home that aren't in boxes. But it's not a really fun experience for the rest of us, right? We stand in line and we're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably look at your cell phone, like, I don't know, what else can I be distracted by? But the feeling that you carry can actually change all the people in line. A friend of mine was telling me this story that she was in line one day, and it was one of those like Walmart experiences where everybody doesn't want to really be in line. And this one woman walked up and she had this big smile on her face, and she started engaging all the people in line in conversation. And suddenly everybody was smiling and laughing, and even if they weren't engaged in the conversation, they were overhearing what was being talked about, and everybody had this really great feeling about them. So that means that everybody left that supermarket line felt great by the time they left that experience. So what we do is infectious. Now you can have the exact opposite experience too, right? You know about mob rule, which is that you get a large collective of people together and the general sentiment will eventually find its way through all the people. In fact, you think about the 60s and you think like the experience of Martin Luther King speaking, and what he exuded rippled throughout hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of people. So we take on the collective consciousness that's going on at that particular time and place. And that means that what we do is infectious, and we can affect 2 or 3 people around us. We might even be able to affect 200 people. And it can be very negative or it can be very positive. It can have a feeling of anger or rage, or it can have a feeling of peace and love. And it's up for us to be able to decide how we're going to be in that moment to change that group, that consciousness, whatever's happening. So the exercise I want to take you through today, this is going to be an experience where I'm going to take you down deep into some emotions, okay? And the first ones we're going to experience are not going to be fun. They're not going to be really pleasant experiences, okay? But I want you to know that we're not going to keep you there. This is only for demonstration purposes. What our intention is to raise your vibration to a higher state of emotion, right, that you'll carry with you. But I want you just to recognize what's going on within yourself as we do this. So, I'm going to ask Corky if she will put on track 2. Now, this is some of my music. It's designed to take you into a deep state, so you can leave your eyes open or you can close your eyes. I just want you to know that when I say to visualize something, and this is, I want to clarify this point. You can leave that on, it's not a big deal. No, just go ahead, leave it on. When I say visualize, some people think that they're going to see an image that's as clear as what you're seeing when your eyes are open, okay? Now, the truth of it is, that's clairvoyance. And, you know, maybe 5% of people in this room will actually see with that sort of clarity. So when I'm saying visualize, it's more, if I were to say, stand in your kitchen, okay, just visualize, see your cabinets, your counter, your sink. You would do a lot of that from memory, and you probably make up a lot of that in your imagination, and it's not going to be clear, like you're looking at a postcard. It's going to be something kind of further back in your mind that you have a very vague memory of, okay? That's what I'm talking about, visualization. It's not, so don't think that you're not doing it if you don't see exactly what I say. It's not about that. It's about relaxing and just letting your imagination take over and facilitate the experience. Okay. One other thing I want to clarify. If you close your eyes, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again when you're in your imagination. And when I ask you to open your eyes in your imagination, I'm not asking you to do that physically. I'm asking you to turn your imagination, your visualization, on and off. Okay? When I actually want to bring you out of this experience, you'll know it, because I'll say, we're gonna end this now, okay? So now, I'd like everybody just to get comfortable. It doesn't matter, leave it. So just be in the space of your body, following your breath. Noticing the chair beneath you, noticing the posture of your body, knowing how your shoulders are being held, noticing how your legs are positioned and how your feet are on the floor. Become totally present inside your body, noticing the breath as you relax deep they'll always be there when you get back. So just for this moment, be fully present within your body. I want you to visualize the most beautiful place in the world. And it can be anything. It can be somewhere you've been, physically, or in your imagination. And just place yourself there. Notice where you're sitting or standing in that most beautiful place in the world. Engage your senses, looking at the beautiful colors around you as they become a little bit more brilliant. Engage your hearing. What do you hear in the most beautiful place in the world? And you may even notice your feet on the surface of the most beautiful place in the world. And what does that feel like? Now I want you to imagine that there is a giant mirror in front of you. It's huge. And it's reflecting everything that's behind you. And you'll notice that there is a group of people behind you. And I don't know who that group of people is, but you know who that group of people is. They may be friends or family or even people from CCL. Just notice them, what they're wearing, what they're doing. And notice yourself in the mirror. What are you wearing? How do you look? And as you look at yourself in the mirror now, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to go deep within yourself, and I want you to bring up a very dark emotion. This emotion is called fear. What do you fear the most at this moment? In your life, what is the thing that you fear the most? Often it can be things like not having enough money to put a roof over your head and pay your bills. Sometimes it's a phobia, things like spiders and snakes. Sometimes it's just something like standing up in public and having to give a speech. What do you fear the most? And when you feel that fear, notice in your body where you feel it. Often fear has something like a color or a shape associated with it. Where do you notice that fear is? Allow it to pervade your body, to permeate you. Just for this moment, we allow this as an experiment. And as you feel that fear, I want you to open your eyes and look into the mirror. What do you see in yourself? What has changed? Is it your posture? Is it a color? Is it a shape? And look at the group of people behind you. How do they respond to your fear? Notice their expressions. Notice how the environment that they're in has changed. Notice the difference. And now close your eyes once more. I want you to take a big eraser, like you were going to erase a chalkboard. Completely erase fear from your system. Completely erase that. And now, I want you to feel the emotion of frustration, irritation, impatience. Feel what that is like. It could be a visualization of what it feels like to be be stuck in traffic when you have to be somewhere 5 minutes ago. It could be somebody that you're speaking to in the Philippines on a tech support call, and they don't understand what you're talking about. Where do you notice that feeling of frustration, of irritation within yourself? Notice if it has a particular color. Maybe even it has a sound associated with it. Where do you notice that in your body? Allow it to permeate you and your energetic field. And then open your eyes. See yourself in the mirror. What has changed? What do you notice? And as you notice the crowd of people behind you in the mirror, what do you notice about them? What has changed? Is it the environment? Is it a color? Is it a feeling? What has changed about them? And now I'd like you to close your eyes again, go within, take that big eraser, and just wipe that feeling of impatience and frustration from your entire being. Just clean it up. Let it disappear. Now I'd like you to bring in the feeling of optimism. The feeling of optimism. What does that feel like? That sense that I know that I can accomplish this. This is within my reach. I can do this. You may think about a particular project that you've worked on, and you know that the end is in sight. It could be getting to the end of a class that you've taken in university or in college or in high school or even a workshop, and it's almost done, and you're getting it. You're getting the information, you know it within yourself. You can feel a change. You can feel that you're understanding. You can feel that you've accomplished something. Notice where in the body you hold optimism. Notice if there's a particular color or shape associated with it. And then you open your eyes and observe yourself in the mirror once again. What do you notice? What has changed about the environment around you? And noticing the people behind you, what do you notice about them as you express your optimism? What has changed about them? I invite you to close your eyes one more time, closing your eyes, going within. I'd like you to experience the feeling of passion. The feeling of passion. What does it feel like to love something, or some process, or some person, and want to engage? The feeling of passion. It's that excitement within you that you can't wait to do it some more. Allow that feeling of passion to completely overtake your body and entire energetic field. Passion, what does it look like? Is it a particular color or a particular shape? And as you open your eyes and look at yourself in the mirror, what do you notice has changed about you? What do you notice about passion? What do you notice about the environment around you as it reflects your state of passion? look at the crowd of people behind you, what do you notice about them? What do you notice about the passion emanating from you and how it has affected them? Maybe a particular color, maybe expressions. What do you notice? Now we're going to raise that vibration a little more. I'd like you to experience the state of gratitude. Allow yourself to completely embody the state of appreciation. What do you have to appreciate in this life? It can be our children, our siblings, our parents. It can be the food that we have the opportunity to eat. It can be our mobility. The fact that we have a body that propels our consciousness. It gives us the ability to travel from one place to another. Could be the appreciation of our senses, to be able to smell, to see, to hear, to taste, to feel. It can be that each day the sun rises. It can be the sweetness of a gentle rain. It can be the love expressed to us from somebody that loves us dearly, or the ability to express our love for somebody that we love dearly. Hold that high vibration of gratitude. And what do you notice happens around you? On the count of 3, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes and hold the state of gratitude as you open your eyes and come back to the room. Allow yourself to be fully present in this time and place on August 23rd, 2015. 1, becoming a little bit more aware of the body and the breath. 2, more aware of the room, the sounds in the room. And 3, opening your eyes. Thank you, Corky. So, often, somebody stands up here at this pulpit or pew or whatever you want to call it, this big box. I'm not used to standing behind boxes. And they want to just talk, and I really want to know if anybody experienced anything that they would like to share. What did they notice about the different changes in vibrational energy between one state of emotions and the next? Anybody want to share anything? Because I don't want this to just be me going outward. I want it to come this way as well. Glenn?
I noticed that my posture in my head, where I was at the time, changed dramatically based obviously on the mood at the time. But the one about passion just had the energy all over the place, spinning out in all directions. It was great.
Nice.
I noticed people behind me were kind of doing the same feelings that I was feeling. Same.
Exactly.
If it was passion, so
Exactly.
that.
Yes. Yes. That's what that was the main point, is that what we feel, how we be, affects how other people be. This is the group consciousness. This is what we're here to experience. And to amplify that point, there's the I am consciousness, right? We're all familiar with the I am consciousness. Are you familiar with I am that? So I am that takes yourself out of this and puts yourself into this, right? So The idea of I am that is that you are everything around you. This is the state of oneness when we talk about left and right brain. You know, they've done MRI and they've done neural imaging to determine that when we're experiencing different states of consciousness and different states of emotion, that different parts of the brain fire, right? When we go into the right brain, this is the state of oneness. We have the ability to think outside the box, but we're tapped into universal consciousness. We are more in the moment when we're in the right brain. It's not about what was, which we have, obviously, we spend much of our lives reflecting on what happened, right? That's left brain. We also have a tendency to think about what we're going to be doing in the future, setting our goals. That's a doing process. That's also very left brain. When we're in the moment, in the now, this is the right brain. That right brain consciousness says, I am that. It says, I'm not just this, I'm not just this body, I'm not just these eyelashes and these earlobes, I am everything that's happening around me. I am Ronnie, and I am Paul, and I am Clyde, and I might even be Dottie Boone. It means that many people will say that we don't even really have our own thoughts. We're reflecting what other people want us to react to based on subconscious experience that's happening within them, right? You know this when you have the opportunity to live with somebody and get to know them really, really well. And you have those reactions where they say something to you, they're angry or something, and then you respond with this thing, and you go 5 minutes later, why did I respond that way? I don't even know why I responded that way. It's because you didn't respond with something that was rational. It wasn't your neocortex firing and saying, I'm going to think about what I'm going to say right now. You just blurt out something. Because their subconscious mind is expecting you to react to their anger in the way that somebody's always reacted to their anger, right? Does that make sense? You clear about that? Somebody is pulling out the response that they have always gotten from what they always experience. And this often is from early on in childhood. We are not necessarily the autonomous being that we think that we are. We are the collective consciousness, and we become more aware of the impact that we have within ourselves to the environment and to others around us when we are here in the right brain, being in the moment. I've got a couple questions. Glenn, did you want to say something?
Well, yeah, those of us who are left-handed, who are right brain dominant, there have been a lot of studies that show that left-handed people experience that more often. And people who, even who are right-handed, who start doing things from a left-handed standpoint and start firing more on the right side of their brain, start experiencing that. And for anyone who'd like to try that out, on Pier 39 is a very, very wonderful left-handed store. And you can get left-handed calculators and scissors and all these, even notebooks that open the other way. And when you start doing things from a left-handed side, you'll find your right brain is automatically firing more, and you're able to experience some of those things more often.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, did you want to say something?
Yeah,
Question?
it's really weird. Yesterday, I was at a social event, and something that drew a lot of negative energy was happening, and I intentionally was staying very present in where I was and what I was doing, and I chose not to engage. And then it came into my space, and I stayed present in what I was doing, and who I was, and where I was at in the space that I was in. And I attempted to offer an opportunity for that person that was being pulled into that drama to come and just be here with me now. I did it several times, and I recognized that, I mean, you just gave language to the experience, because they were definitely in the left brain side, the doing, what's happening. And I'm just like, I don't care. You know, I'm asking you to be here with me now. Peace, pleasant. I don't care. Right? If I wanted to go left, right, I thought to myself in a split second, I'm 8 steps beyond however this is going to play out in 8 different directions simultaneously in this moment right here. So let's just be here now.
Mhm.
And I had, at the end of the day, I just had to let it, I literally had to just let go.
And the thing that you get to realize is the power in that.
Ooh.
There is a lot of power. We think about power as like how we control situations, but how do we think about power as how we be in situations? This is the point. There's a lot of power in this. And to get to the state of gratitude, that's where the most power is. When you, this is an interesting thing that I experienced. So last night I had the opportunity to be in a sweat lodge with somebody that came down from Ashland, Oregon, just to pour water for this particular sweat. And I got a really, really strong message that I could only pray for something and receive the results of that prayer when I was raising my vibration to the place of appreciation, where I was able to receive the energy that was necessary for my prayers to actualize. Now, you know, it's often when we set prayers for ourselves, we're usually often doing this from a very low vibrational state. You know, we're in a place of shame. Oh, please help me get out of this shame. Well, the truth is that we have to raise our vibration first. It doesn't happen that you make the prayer and then something comes down and lifts us up. We make the prayer, then we raise our vibration to the place where we can receive it, right? This is resonance, right? One thing resonates with another. If something's vibrating at this particular rate, let's just say, 20,000 kilohertz, it's vibrating at this rate, it has a sympathetic vibration to something else when that thing is vibrating at that same frequency, which means we're responsible for raising our vibration. We're responsible for getting to the place where we can receive the healing that we're asking for. And so how do you do that? And it's just about what we just did, this process. How do I lift my vibration from a place of fear or impatience? How do I get it up? I go through optimism, and then I go through passion, and then I go through appreciation, right? This is what doobie-doobie-doo is, right? You do, then you be. Then you do, then you be. Do, be, do, be, do, be. It goes on. I always hear Frank Sinatra in my head. Do, or maybe Sammy Davis Jr. I don't know. It's one of those. Dean Martin. Doobie-doobie-doo.
It was Sinatra.
So I think they were all doobie-doobie-doing. Or maybe they were Scooby-Dooby-doing. I don't know.
That too.
So what do you need to remember that? So I didn't do a suggestion during a hypnosis, but you can remember doobie-doobie-doo. I need to raise my vibration. I can Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Ooby-Dooby-Doo. Just remember that, right? When you're in that place of being in a low vibration and you need to get yourself up, and this can be any time, right? If you're standing in line with all those people that gotta buy stuff, what do? You doobie-doobie-doo, right? So it's just this moment. You just remember doobie-doobie-doo, and you know how to elevate your emotional impact of everything that's going on around you. Because remember, when you're in the moment, you're experiencing being, and then you do raise your vibration, then everybody else can be around you in that same state of vibration. This is as healers, which we all are, this is the vibration that we carry, and the responsibility that we have, and the power that's within us to do the things that we need to do to heal this planet. And I wanted to throw one more thing out. Oh, did you have a question, Lee, or
No, I just wanted to
statement?
make a quick comment. When you did the frustration, irritation part, I didn't see me in the mirror. I saw the person that frustrates me.
Yeah. And you have the power to change that. So the last thing I wanted to leave you with was, we have this thing about making to-do lists. So what about making to-be lists, right? Can you make a to-be list? What are the experiences you want to have within yourself? Who do you want to be? How do you want to be? And what impact do you want to make? And I'm going to close there.